Do you believe that black people should receive reparations?
Yes.
You know, why? They didn't earn it. Why should they receive it?
I think working on those plantations for 400 years is
None of them worked on a plantation.
Earned enough. What do you mean?
None of them worked on a plantation.
I didn't particularly work on the plantation, but I had ancestors who did.
None of the blacks who were begging for it.
I've had ancestors who did.
And how much should they get?
That I have no idea. I don't know, but we can determine a reasonable amount. Let's do this. Would you be in support of endowing black colleges to the level of, say, Harvard?
No, they've already done it with the black schools. Do you wish you had white privilege?
I think every black person wishes that they had white privilege.
Do you wish
if I had white privilege, I'd be a U.S. Senator today.
Do you wish you had white privilege?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll take white privilege. Why not? I'd probably be a senator.
Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, Mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country?
Well, first of all, because black folk are the owners of the whole planet, everywhere belongs to us. And you can't say because you criticize, that makes you the most patriotic because you criticize so that America correct itself. I'm the most patriotic person you'll ever find because I want America to correct herself. That's amazing. And correcting herself means to do what? Correct herself meaning to stop murdering us, to cease and desist killing us, cease and desist raping and robbing, cease and desist the unjust incarcerating of our people, cease and desist flooding our communities with drugs and alcohol, cease and desist poisoning our waters, cease and desist holding on to resources that never belonged to them in the first place and for benefiting from those things. Those are the things that I want them to do. And to, you know what? Show us the money. Show me the money.
See, I told you want money.
Yes, because it belongs to us.
There you go, begging for money.
When we came over here in slave ships, was that racism?
No.
That wasn't racism?
He just playing.
Why do you say that?
Show we on,
why do you say that was racism?
To capture and force people to go somewhere that they don't want to go.
And who were the racists promoting that, doing that? Who were the people doing that?
The so-called white man.
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
Black people were sold into slavery by blacks, wealthy, to the Arabs. It was the Arabs who sold the blacks across the world. It wasn't white people who just tiptoed over to Africa and just bought took white folks. They were being sold by other black people. Is that racism for black? And they are still doing that today in parts of Africa where blacks are enslaved by other blacks and Arabs. Is that racism?
Every black person is not the same.
Is that racism?
Okay, so you wanna justify
real resistance for black people is freedom, and respecting our freedom. It means
Freedom
respecting
from
the fact that we
From
can
what?
live.
From who?
Freedom to live however we want to live.
But white people don't care how you guys live.
But that's not necessarily true.
No, they want you to go away and live.
Well, at least from history, it tells us that our image, our aesthetics have always been criticized and manipulated by white people.
No.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah.
They lied to you again. Would you date a white man?
Yeah, I would.
But how are you going to have your space away from him?
I can always have my space. I can always create that space.
Would you believe me if I told you that all this stuff that you've been taught and other black kids are being taught about the black thing and white privilege and all that mess is not real? It just, you guys are being brainwashed by angry blacks who want to control you in order to gain power and wealth for themselves? Would you believe me if I told you that's what's really going on?
No, I wouldn't.
You would not believe me?
I would not.
I just read an article in the LA Times last week about racism, and the white people that were polled said that there wasn't really a racism problem, and the black people who were polled said that there was a racism problem. Now, who's speaking the truth there?
The white folks.
Not necessarily. I'm a white folk, and I don't believe that racism isn't a problem.
There's no such thing as racism.
Well, that doesn't, just because it's a cultural construct doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist.
No, really.
Do you believe racism?
You're a black man, and you're going to sit here and tell me that racism doesn't exist.
And I grew up on a plantation. Racism does not exist. It's a lie. Do you disagree with that?
Oh, please. I pastor an African-American church. I see it daily.
But you're a white woman. You pastor in a black church.
Yeah.
Where's your proof that racism exists?
The proof is in the differences in their salaries.
In their salaries? That's not true. I mean, people work at different levels and at different times and different jobs, so that's not true.
I have women in my congregation who are caregivers.
Right.
And they are paid to the person less than the women of other races, other colors that work for the same agency.
Okay, so I pay my black employees more than I do my white ones.
Good for you.
More, is that racism?
I'm not sure what that is.
Why not?
Racism is a power differential.
I'm discriminating against my white employees. I'm paying my black people, and my white employees are better workers.
So it is discrimination.
Is
There's
that
no doubt about
racism?
it, but I'm not sure it's racism.
Why not?
Because the white folks still call the shots.
But I'm calling the shot.
Well,
The
and
shots.
if you want to
I'm calling the
discriminate in
shot.
that manner, I don't know that anybody would ever stop you.
Is it racism?
No.
Why, if the white man does it, I don't do that, by the way. So why is it if the white man did it, it's racism? If I do it, it's not.
Because
Do you believe white people are superior?
No.
Do you believe in white supremacy?
No. I don't believe in white supremacy and the fact that they're supreme, but the white man does have the power to lock black men up, black women up. He does have the power to put drugs in our community, not in their community. He does have the power to hire and fire. So he does have that power.
What does that feel like to hear yourself blaming and complaining about another man and that you can't make it because some other man is keep you down? I don't know what that feels like. I've never had that in my life. What does that feel like to believe that a white man can keep you down, so you got to complain about it rather than overcoming it? What does that feel like?
Well, me being an alpha male myself, I don't know what that feels like.
Are you complaining for other beta males?
No, I've never said that, though.
Getting back to your question of why white people are blamed, slavery.
Slavery?
Was a white person, a white created problem, I guess.
Why had nothing to do with slavery?
Oh, well, most of the slave owners were white.
In places like Tennessee, I believe, or one of there, a lot of black people owned slaves in those days.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
And it was the Arabs who went over to Africa, Mommy Africa, and bought the slave from other black people and took them around the world. It wasn't the white people, and anyone that could afford a slave bought one.
I mean...
So what do you think about the attack on white men?
Well,
Is it right?
I understand it.
You understand it?
So I understand why African Americans were angry at white people. Because
it's impossible you could be wrong, but that the problem's with you and it has nothing to do with white people?
I don't think that that's true, no.
It's amazing. It's really amazing to me that black people feel that white people are superior. It explains a lot, too. When I hear and see them protesting and talking about white supremacy, because if they didn't believe it, they wouldn't be saying it. So they do believe white people are superior. And that's why they beg for reparations, affirmative action. And
I think you're conflating white supremacy, which is something that you've kind of applied to this conversation, and not necessarily anything that, I don't know that anyone, I mean, I'm sure some people believe it, but I don't know if that's necessarily the truth that I would
You
speak
say
to.
in your book, white supremacy frame your self-image.
Yes.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean that, if you look in our culture, particularly as a woman, white women are, championed more. They're seen as the beauty standard. I am in a lot of ways the opposite of what is seen as beautiful in this country. And as a young woman, discovering myself, developing my self-esteem, looking for representation, I didn't often find it because of white supremacy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do the white women make you feel that way?
Absolutely not.
They don't make you feel that way on your own?
I mean, I don't feel that way anymore because I've become very comfortable with myself as a grown woman. I'm speaking more about how I felt as a 12-year-old girl.
But when you felt that way, did the white women make you feel that way?
No.
And so why do you blame
it's not about
them
individual people. It's about a system and the way that our culture is presented. It's not necessarily about any individual person or even, small group of people. It is a systemic global issue.
And so your self-image then was the white woman better and prettier and better than me?
That's what the world thinks. I don't know that
But
I
did you think
actually
that?
believe that.
So how did it frame your image if you didn't think that?
No, but I'm saying you think all lives matter.
Yes.
And a black life is included in all those lives. So you think black lives matter.
I don't need to say Black Lives Matter. When I say all, I mean all.
So you're including black people.
But I know that black lives doesn't matter to black people.
So you're including black people when you say all lives matter?
Yes.
So that means when I say black lives matter, you agree because you think all lives matter.
I grew up in Alabama under the Jim Crow laws. We couldn't live in certain places like that.
Right.
But we had family. We were better off then than blacks are today when they can do and live wherever they want. Why weren't we worse off then under the Jim Crow laws than the blacks are today?
Because, first of all, the reason you grew up under Jim Crow laws is because there were white people who were racist. If you think it's all of a sudden disappeared in 50 years, then I think that you don't actually have a real grasp on how tenacious some of these beliefs and prejudices are. And the fact that the black family has suffered from many other things, which it clearly has, and I'm not disagreeing with you about that, doesn't mean that therefore there's no white racism in America.
It doesn't exist.
Okay. All right. Look, I mean, I didn't really come here to try to convince you that racism exists.
No. We're just.
I'm saying if you don't believe it.
No, I know it doesn't.
Okay.
I know
How do you
for a
know?
fact.
How do you know?
Because.
So if I hear if I hear a white person make a racist remark, what am I hearing?
You just
it's not true?
First of all, it's not a racist remark. You hear an angry person. It's all based on what they're saying and why they're saying it. You hear an angry person making a comment about someone they don't like.
But what if they make it about a race?
They're still making it about someone they don't like.
But what if they're making it about a whole race?
It's still about people that they don't like. It has nothing to do with the color. It has everything to do with the character of the person.
When you grew up in the Jim Crow laws, was there racism?
No.
So you don't think that when in Nazi Germany was there anti-Semitism?
Let me say this, and then I'll get to that. I want to.
I think you're a little bit playing with words.
No. In reality, our battle is a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. It's either good or it's evil. It's either wrong or it's right. And so whenever you become angry, it causes you to look down on your fellow man. It causes you to blame them. It causes you to judge your fellow man. But if you don't have that anger, you would never do that. And you're able to see people for whom they are, and you deal with them accordingly. But the moment you become angry, you lose that sight of that. Black people, the smart ones you're talking about, they can't even get into the average college because they're not smart enough. They need affirmative action. I did a story recently where black people could not pass the air traffic control test. So Jesse Jackson organization, according to the survey, and the black air traffic control union or something like that, they got together and got with the air traffic controllers and decided that they were going to let black people cheat on the air traffic controller test and then hold back the whites and Asian and others who were smarter and more qualified because blacks were not smart enough to pass the test. And so now when you fly back home, there's a possibility you're going to be on a plane. There's some black pilots.
I don't like to fly.
So what? You don't fly?
I don't like to fly.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. Because
this guy, where'd you get him from? This guy.
Because that
I like your humor. Your humor's good.
Can you see coming in for a landing down in front?
Oh, here we go. Everybody here's laughing. It's ridiculous.
Can you see coming in for a landing and you have this black air traffic controller, the pilot like, air traffic control, about to land. Which landing?
He didn't even get to the joke yet. He's funny.
Like, which landing?
Oh, goodness.
Land should I come in on, number 1 or number 2?
Is this going to be aired in Harvard or Princeton, you think? This
all
show?
over the world.
Oh, Lord. I was born at night, but not last night. Okay?
And so the air traffic controller said, Mr. Pilot, come in on landing roll 1. And then
Mark Furman, dropping the N-bomb more than Eazy-E on a NWA album.
But what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with saying the N-word?
Right.
Nothing if the windows are up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I get killed after this. I don't know if it's considered racism, but when people hear I'm Jewish, they're like, "Oh, you must be pretty cheap, or you must be pretty good with a buck." To me, that's racist.
But why is that? Jews are known to be good with money and tight.
Well, because I don't think you can say that about all Jews. Like,
have you ever met a Jew that wasn't good with money?
I mean, you got me on that one. I'm not gonna lie, you got me on that one. But it's. I don't think you can ever group any race or religious people. You can't say all Arabs are terrorists. Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying, like.
Then why is it whenever you and I are around Arabs, we hold our neck?